Go back to the text board. Ray, a text on Jalen Hurts, of all people. What a saying.
People quite positive on Hurts. Did we win last night? The Philadelphia fan base doesn't deserve Jalen Hurts. I hope he gets traded to a team where the fans actually appreciate him.
Oh, stop now.
I can count 22 teams in the NFL right now that would love to have Jalen. We are being too harsh.
Yeah, see, stop with that. That's going too far because that goes into the old mindset. Oh, we drive our athletes out of town. No, we don't. It's legitimate concern that they don't have on-point passing game. To the novice eye. But when you dig deeper, for this team, it doesn't matter. I don't know. Maybe it'll matter in the future. Who knows? But for this team, you could just study what they are, study how they play. You don't need a superstar 300-yard passer every game to win games.
And I really think a majority of Eagles fans have come around. I don't think it's a majority. When that texter says that we don't deserve Jalen Hurts, I think a majority of people in this city appreciate exactly what you're saying now, that they win football games with Jalen Hurts. All the guy does is win.
That being said, if they do happen to lose next week, then they'll bail out on Jalen Hurts. This is a very tenuous relationship and hold that he has on the fan base. Let's face it. Because if the lack of passing game prevents them from winning, which it hasn't so far, but if it does, they'll bail on him. You know that.
I don't know, man. It's the same thing with Sirianni that we've talked about. And we'll
bail on him, too.
Yeah, I would think at this point, regardless of what happens, now I'm expecting the Eagles to win on Sunday. I'm expecting them to be in New Orleans in a couple of weeks. But regardless of what happens, I would think that Hurts and Sirianni have both won over the critics. They should have won over the critics by this point.
Not if they lose to Washington.
Well, it's not going to happen. It's going to be a
really. Now, if they lose the Super Bowl, maybe they'll be disappointed. But the ultimate disappointment is if they lose to this team at home, and you know that the fan base will bail on both Sirianni and Hurts. And it's just natural. It's what the fan base is going to do because those guys, even now, still don't have that. They don't have a lock hold on the audience here.
The crazy thing to me, though, is for years, going all the way back to the Buddy Ryan days, a majority of this fan base wanted what? They wanted a team that ran the football and had one of the best defenses in the NFL. It's exactly what we have now. We got the best defense in the league. You got a rushing attack that cannot be stopped. And it's not just Saquon. Obviously, he plays a huge part in it. It's not just the offensive line. Obviously, they play a huge part in it. It's Jalen Hurts. You can't underestimate what he does in the rushing attack. Not even with his legs, just the fact that he's a threat.
If they didn't have Saquon Barkley and they didn't have that defense the way it's playing now, what do you think people would be saying? What do you think that they'd be wanting more of? Hurts to win games like other quarterbacks win games. But that's what would happen.
I agree with you, but if they didn't have Saquon Barkley, because we've seen in previous seasons what this team did without Saquon Barkley, guess what? They still won games. Jalen Hurts still wins games. The guy, since he's become the starter, has done nothing but win.
He had better passing numbers at one point of his career than he does now.
He did, but is that a factor of Jalen Hurts can't throw the football, or is it because this team has made a conscious decision that we are going to be a run-first football team?
Obviously, one goes hand in hand. Maybe they don't trust him enough, but when you have Barkley, you don't want to throw 10 more passes and subtract 10 more runs. You just don't want to do that.
Yeah, you just got to keep feeding Saquon.
All right, let's go to Ish in Levittown. No, Ish, you hang in there because right now I got to tell you that the Mike Missanelli Show, you're listening to it on WPEN and WPEN HD1, Burlington, Philadelphia. It's a Beasley Media Group station, and we're broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studios, powering possibilities. All right, now Ish joins us. Ish, go ahead, buddy.
Hey, Mike, how are you?
Good.
Hi, Bill. Congratulations, Bill. And I want to talk about the win yesterday. I really can't even criticize the game plan. At this point in the playoffs, it's not the regular season. A win is a win. despite the passing yards and all that, Jalen had some good passes, especially to A.J. Brown, and he had a couple drop passes, and it was crazy. It was like a blizzard out there yesterday.
It's insane to think that you're going to be able to move the ball consistently in that weather. And really,
Exactly.
you can't apply the same criteria to that game with that weather.
You can't. And there's a couple people like Jalen Carter, Nick Sirianni, and the defense. But I think the one person that we have to congratulate and say who basically spoke into the future is Bill Colarudo. I think the way he was talking about Dan Campbell made a bunch of mistakes, and we're going against Washington. We're going to win this game. We're actually going to blow them out, I think.
Where did Dan Campbell make all his mistakes?
Oh, don't get me started. I'll back you up on this one.
The quarterback sucked. The quarterback choked for them. That wasn't Dan Campbell.
Mike, there was questionable calls in that play.
Yeah,
we have to admit.
The quarterback turned the ball over. That's what made him lose.
But Bill has been spot on. And
who cares? The Bill's been spot on about Dan Campbell. This isn't about Dan Campbell.
Keep it going, Ish. I've been spot on about Dan Campbell. What else? Nick Sirianni. Keep it going, baby.
Everybody. And like I said, I think we're going to beat the Commanders. We're going to blow them out. It's like we did.
Yeah, they can blow them out. Stop it.
It's going to be. We'll see what happens. But real quick, I know we're reacting to the Eagles, but the Dan Campbell over the top aggressiveness, Mike.
Stop it.
That seeped into that team.
Why would you need to hold on to that anymore? It's not an issue. They lost,
and the reason they lost
is the reason why they lost.
And the reason they lost is because his macho, overly aggressive, which I've called reckless. That seeps into your football team. It seeps into the decisions Jared Goff made. It seeped into the decision to run a trick play where you had your wide receiver throw the ball down the field in a 10-point game as you are driving, and they can't stop your rushing attack, and you have your wide receiver throw a pass. It's that over-the-top recklessness.
So who was that? Was that him
came
or
back
was
to
that
one
Ben
again.
Johnson, the world's most foremost assistant coach who's going to be hired for a head coaching job? Who runs it? Starts with Campbell?
It starts with Campbell. It's the over-the-top aggressiveness that seeps into that entire football team, and they're done, man. They are done.
Their defense finally, the attrition finally hurt them in that game, right? They would have been a tougher out than the Commanders, in my view.
I agree with you. I agree they would have been a tougher out.
And so in that way, the Eagles got a little lucky.
Well, they didn't get lucky.
They got a little lucky.
Dan Campbell lost the game.
And Detroit fell in their face.
And I can't wait. I think Dan Campbell is going to make an appearance at the News at noon today, and I can't wait for it. Can't wait.
This guy is just...
Dude, I had a great weekend, man. I had the birth of my child. Then I watched Dan Campbell's over-aggressiveness come back to haunt him like I said it would. And then the Philadelphia Eagles win and go to the NFC Championship.
Campbell lost that game, right?
Can you rank the three moments for us from this weekend?
I don't want to do that because if my wife's listening, she may get upset when I rank all three.
Okay. Sounds good. I know the Eagles came in third, but I was curious whether it was the kid or Campbell losing.
I actually texted Ray that a couple days ago after the loss. I said, I'm not sure, birth of my child or Dan Campbell losing in the divisional round. No, obviously the birth of my child, if anyone's listening.
Sure. Yeah, you can say it. I don't believe it.
But, Mike, I'm telling you, man.
Did you walk in with a protein shake in the bottle?
No, not yet. Not yet. But I did have a lot of Kind bars at the hospital. You're right.
You did?
But you are underestimating. See, people ask me a lot, why do you love Nick Sirianni but you hate Dan Campbell? They're the same guy. They are not the same guy. Because Dan Campbell is 100 miles an hour, reckless. That seeps into your team. Nick Sirianni is not just a rah-rah guy. We learned that last week. Tim McManus wrote a great article about how he connects with his players. They know how to win football games in tough weather, like you saw yesterday, win close games in the playoffs. The playoffs are different, man, and this is why Dan Campbell blew it last year, and he blew it again on Saturday. They don't understand how to win this time of year. Nick Sirianni and the Eagles do. That's it. End of story.
Man, I could only imagine if Nick Sirianni was the head coach of a team with the quarterback threw 3 interceptions and the entire defense was banged up, the way you'd spin that one to not be Sirianni's fault, and the way you've spun this to be Dan Campbell's fault.
Well, let's talk about this.
It's really amazing.
Well, why do you think
he fits the narrative?
Whoa. Why are they all banged up?
Because he's ultra aggressive?
You're damn right. Dan Campbell beats the hell out of those guys.
Oh, stop.
He beats the hell out of those guys. There's a part of head coaching.
Stop it.
Mike, there is a part of head coaching.
I am done talking about Dan Campbell on the line. It doesn't matter anymore. Would you stop?
All right, well, then let's talk about Nick Sirianni. Knowing what buttons to push, knowing when you need to practice hard, knowing when you have to get guys off their feet.
You go half-cocked. There you go off. It's like...
There is a reason why we tout this team's health every single season at the end of the year. The head coach knows what buttons to push. Dan Campbell doesn't. It's 100 miles an hour all the time.
Campbell is not your coach. Shut the hell up about it.
Oh, dude,
relax.
I'm not going to shut up about it. I'm enjoying it.
Jesus God, I've never seen such an obsession.
I'm enjoying it.
What's the matter with you?
And I'm going to enjoy Sirianni love shortly as well.
Oh, let's go to Lewis in Pennsauken. Lewis, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Lewis.
Hey, how you doing, fellas?
What's up, Lewis?
Listen, I want to preface this by saying that we're going to win Sunday, or when is it, Sunday, right? So I'm not saying that we're not going to win, but what I'm saying to you is that it's not going to be a walk in the park. And one of the things
what does it matter whether it's going to be a walk in the park?
Because there's a chance we can lose.
Well, there's a chance you can lose any time you play.
No. But look, can you hear me out, Mike, real quick?
Go ahead.
You talked about the +1 Jalen Hurts presents to the defense because of the fact that he's a runner. Well, guess what? Jalen Daniels presents the same problem. This is not Matthew Stafford. This is not. This is a running court. He's one of maybe 4 quarterbacks in this whole league that presents this same problem. And so, therefore, remember this. This is what I'm saying. It's not going to be a walk in the park. I listened to him say after the second game.
Well, hold on a second. Hold on. Why are you doing this to yourself? Why are you doing this? Obviously, you can lose the game. Obviously, it's not going to be a walk in the park. I don't know what your point is here.
No, the point is that here's what I'm saying. Listen, there was a lot of Detroit Lions fans thinking that they were going to run. That probably had.
But why, Lewis? Who's the better team?
Oh, who's the better team? The Lions or the
No. Forget the Lions. Who is the better team in this game?
Oh, the Eagles.
Okay, why are you doing this to yourself? Of course they could lose. We all know they can lose. But I'm curious to know, why are you torturing yourself like this?
Why? I'm going to be honest with you. Jalen Daniels is different, bro. I'm sorry. And I believe that he can beat us if given a chance. I don't think he's going to do it, but he's different. He's not.
Okay, so he's different. He's also a rookie. They're also 5.5-point underdog. The whole world is telling you the Eagles are a better team. Could they lose? Yeah, I guess they could lose. But my point is, why is it the fear of Jaden Daniels and the Commanders overtaking the fact that you have the best team playing at home for the NFC title game? That's just what I don't understand about Philadelphia fans. Why do you talk yourself into nonsense? What do you get out of it? What are you protecting? 610-632-0975. Back after this.
Thanks for watching the video, guys. Appreciate you guys checking out things with the Mike Missanelli Show. If you want more from us, check out the playlist right here to get this one. Check out all the playlists. There's a lot to watch.